As promised, I want to give you some instructions on how to do the multiple region export and import into Microfin. You'll notice here on the right hand side that we've got 5 sheets and 10 term loan products already defined in this Microfin model. You can also see that we've got a version that has yet to be released, version 4.2. There have been significant changes here that I need to release another version with some errors that I was getting earlier. You notice on the model setup sheet that we've gone to a multi-region model, and then you can also see the 5 regions that we have here. I've just left them as regions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. On the next sheet, you'll see, that'll come up in just a second here, you'll see that we've got 10 term loan products that are defined, and I've labeled them product 1 through 10. You might not have 10 term loan products, and you can also see in the far right hand side that they've been activated for each of the 5 branches. So each of the 5 branches has a term loan product, 5 term loan products highlighted, and you can see here that I've given them different designs as well, and you can kind of see how that flows down through product 1 through product 10. Some of them have a longer longer term, and some of them have a different interest rate. But when I send this to you, I'll just make sure that it's all flat. I'm sorry, just all empty. We go over to the Microfin export section, and this is where things failed for me last time, but this will work this time. So welcome to the export wizard. Click on next, and then you put a description here in the description box. So this is going to be the region 1 export file. Click next, and we don't want to do an add-on tool, so we'll just skip that and go on to next. And we do want to do a decentralized planning process export, and we're just going to do region 1 for right now. I've also done regions 2 or 5 and 3, and but we'll just do 1 here. Are we sure we want to do a branch level planning sheet? And yes, that's what we want to do. I think there are a couple other separate things that we'll look at here, but you'll notice that just region 1 is getting copied, all the design sheets and all the activity sheets, all 10 activity sheets and all 10 design sheets. On the next screen, you're going to type in just the name of the export file, and that's fine. I think I chose something like region 1 export in that dialog box there. Needed to make sure I put it in the right folder so I could find it again. And here we go, region 1 export file. I'll tap on save, and it's going to save that file as a 1K or less. On this view right here, I can see it, but I didn't show the whole details of it, but it's probably just by about 100K. About a third, halfway down the screen here, and there we go. It's highlighted now. So now the next section that we need to do is we need to import this into a 1 branch, or I should say 1 region, 10 product Microfin instance. So I've created a 1 region 10 product Microfin instance here, and I'm going to import that. So we see the region 1 export file is now going to get imported, and yes, I want to do that, and it'll erase all the data from this model. That's fine. It'll turn into a single branch model, and that's okay too. We'll just need to make sure that we save it appropriately. We might need to create more product design sheets to mirror the model that's being imported, but since I've already done that, and I'll send that along to you, that'll work out just fine. You've you've got a couple other, little notifications that come up during the import process. And I've sped this up quite a bit. You'll notice that product and institutional capacity sheets are now protected. You can see those, but you can't do anything with them. Those need to be defined by the head office. Also, being a product sheet, any product redesign needs to come from the head office, unless you use one of the advanced tools, which I think you can do on branches 2 through 5 for sure, but branch 1 might not be possible. You'll notice that this is, again, sped up a little bit. So we're importing this, the export from the main microfin into the region microfin. So, and you'll notice this has been a single branch region planning model. And then we need to export it back as an export file to then import it back into the master 5 regions. Now, you will see a couple programming errors here going through, but I've figured out that there really isn't any impact to any of these. I'll need to take a look and solve them at some point, but at least I want to get this to you without any further delay. So now here we've got the Region 1 export file. So this is what the regional managers will start working on. And the things that they'll be working on are the product activity sheets, and I'll show you a couple changes that I'll do to the product activity sheet. Here we're on the first product, and we'll see that is by tapping that product 1 button there on the branch sheet. That's how we can get to it, or we can go to the products pull-down menu and look at that too. Here we've got the product activity sheet for the first loan product, and I'm just changing from 100 to 1001, and then I'm going to tap on F9 to make that active. We're just changing the growth pattern here, and then we'll go back and we'll do another product. We're going to highlight product 5, and that'll generate its product activity sheet. And on that product activity sheet, we'll change one of the options. So you go to the top menu. You can't really see it here, and you want to enable monthly activity. So here we're going to say, I guess in month 4, we're going to start with 2001 loans being given of this product, and we're going to have 100% client retention. So we'll mark that as well. And then we'll go back to the regional sheet, Region 1 sheet, and we'll see how those pieces of information get reflected here. So you'll see that we've got the 1002, and then we've got 2001. We'll scroll down, and this is where else some of the entries will be done by the regional offices. They'll need to go ahead and define what the loan loss provision and write-off are. So look at the write-off ratio here for product 5. We're going to adjust that. Leave product 1 at 1%. We'll make it that 2%, and then for product 5, the reserve ratio, instead of being 3% in this example, we'll make it 6%. Obviously, we can do that for the other products as well, but we're just showing those 2 products for right now. We'll continue scrolling down, and we need to define caseloads. So product 5, it's going to be just 100 loans per loan officer. And we'll scroll down, and you'll see that 100 takes effect as I tap on F9. And you'll notice how many loan officers we're going to need. This is a large number of loan officers that look like need to be contracted, and you can kind of see as we scroll across, senior level loan officers calculated 300 some odd 500. So a little bit unrealistic for your case, but we'll scroll down here, and for the number of branches, we're going to actually take a formula and say, well, let's divide the number of loan officers by the number of branches here in a second, and we'll come up with a different figure for the number of branches. You notice we can adjust salaries by each branch and miscellaneous expenses. I had an automated expense of $3,000 in currency for each branch. You notice how that goes, and I haven't adjusted the number of branches, so I need to go back up here and say, okay, how many branches do we really want? And I went too far, so I need to come back down here and find the number of branches. And once I do, I'm going to take a formula here, and it's going to equal the number of branches, and I'm going to divide that by 3 and copy and paste that over. And so the number of branches and the relative cost is going to be a little bit less. Again, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have 3 branch managers but only a third the number of branches, but that's what I wanted to do. So we'll continue on with that. So the number of branches, we'll scroll down here. You'll see that the cost now goes from 3,000 to 25,000 and all that, just to vary a little bit. Again, fixed assets can be looked at a regional level. And then we've got a new series of analysis here. We've got a regional income statement. And there are a couple things about applying head office costs back to the regions and also financing costs back to the regional balance sheet, or income statement, better said. So we go back to the branch sheet, and we need to, now that we've done our changes at the branch level, we need to go back to the import-export sheet and tap on export. And by clicking next, now we've got the Region 1 export file, but it's going to be the adapted file or the adjusted file that we've just done, or I've just done here. Adjusted at the regional level. We've made our adjustments, and it's going to be ready to export this file. Again, we're in a 1 region 10 loan product Microfin instance here, and it's going to export this single branch file. And I'll speed this up a little bit. We need to add an extension here, or don't add the extension, just do a new file name here. Make sure that it's clear that it's after any regional level adjustments. So I guess I said revised Region 1 export file, and then I'll tap on save, and it will save the information. Now the final step we need to do is we need to, after it saves the information, we need to go back to the 5 branch. Now look at this on the right hand side. We've got the multi-region 5 sheet model with 10 term loan products. So this is where I'm at, and I need to import that one regional sheet. Before I do that, I'm just going to refresh my memory about what's actually here on this regional sheet. You'll notice that we just have the 102 loans per month, and then here we don't have anything on product 5. So this is before any import. And all the other information hasn't been imported as well. I need to work on getting those product, the prod 3 and 5 or 1 and 2 actually to fit better. So now I need to import into this 5 region model the correct file that I saved, this revised Region 1 export file. So I do that, and it says it's adjusted at a regional level. Do I want to do this? Yes. And so I do this, and quite honestly, I think I get a couple other messages that come up here as it's going through, and I speed this up somewhat here because this is a large file and it takes a significant amount of time for it to for the calculations to all be imported, and you'll notice that it's going to jump around quite a bit here. I'm going to erase all the data from the model, but it's just going to erase that one regional sheet. And it's going to prompt me here about where do I want to put that. Do I want to load the branch into region sheet 1? Yes. If that's not the case, we'd click no. Now this verify product sheets routine name comes up. I need to look and see what's going on with that, but again, it doesn't appear to impact anything that we're doing here within Microfin. You notice kind of blinking there for a second. You saw that we had the revised number of loans in each of those products that I had adjusted, and as the screen kind of jumps around, as it's going through its process and Excel's doing its thing, you notice that we've got a notification that's more so for the programmers here that it took a little bit longer than expected to do some of the Microfin routines. It's a large file, so that's not unexpected that notification comes up. I think it's set if it takes more than a second, it should pop up and alert me and other future designers and developers of Microfin to go ahead and take a look at that to make sure that things are going okay. Again, this is sped up quite a bit. We don't need to take too much time in just watching the screen flicker back and forth, but you notice that it is taking, even though I've sped this up 5 times of its normal speed. We got to be patient with this, with your computers too. It might take longer or shorter depending on the version of Excel you're working on and the speed of your computer and what you might be wanting to, the programs that are installed and all that. Eventually this will get done as far as the import process goes. It'll do a double check and make sure the formulas are good. If not, it would give a notification here at the end that the formulas or something had happened in the import process, but I've gone ahead and make sure that that's not going to be the case. You notice here that we've got, and I go back over here, the routine finished, and then I'm just going to scroll down here and you'll notice that we've got the data that I expected to see, the 1002 for product 1, and then also the product 5 adjustments. I'll scroll down here and just see for a moment how the other items are looking that we adjusted. Oh, there's the annual write-off ratio at 2%. That's good. That's what I input. And then 6% for the reserve ratio. The 100 loans per loan officer also there. And we'll probably see that we've got even the formula on the number of branches that we've got. And that's all good. So that's what we've got going on here. I appreciate your patience in letting me get this to you. So you will get this file, and then you'll also, obviously the video here, and then I'm going to also upload the 5 branches and 10 products blank worksheet, and then you'll also be getting a 1 branch, 10 loan product Microfin, so you don't have to create those yourself. Thanks a lot for watching, listening. Watch it many times. Hopefully this helps a lot. And get back to me if you have any questions. Thanks.